Hey, it's Thomas 11, and with Triangle Strategy coming out in just a few days, I wanted to finally get to an Octopath video that I've been putting off making for a while. So here's my Octopath Traveler tier list. This will not be a character or gameplay tier list like you would expect, because those have probably been done to death already. The game is pretty old. This is going to be a job sprites tier list. So Octopath has a lot of job sprites for everyone reclassing. Some of them good, some bad, some absolutely adorable. I'm going to be ranking them from S to D. And as a rule, I'm not going to include their default job sprites, only reclassing. So we'll start off with Primrose because she was the character I started off with the first time I played. And first off, we've got Cleric Primrose. This is definite A tier. Just very pretty looking. Nice dress, nice hair on the sprite. Sorcerer Primrose, also A tier. Most of the characters look pretty generic in Sorcerer, like it's just generically good looking, but Primrose really stands out in it because she wears it over her normal Dancer sprite design, so stands out more. Definite A tier. War Master, another definite A tier. This one looks great. War Master is another that just looks good on everyone, but Primrose really stands out in it. Rune Lord, this is B+. It's not quite as good as the others we just gave an A tier, but it's still very good looking. Starseer B. Hunter does not look too good on many characters. It looks pretty goofy on a lot of them. Going to give this a D. Thief, this is C tier. Apothecary, B+. Really carried by the hair, but the dress is nice too. And we got the little hat. Gotta love the little hat. Warrior C. It's not bad, but it's not as nearly good as the rest of them. Merchant, this is ridiculous looking. Merchant is not a very good looking class on most of the characters. Primrose especially looks really goofy in it, so D tier. Scholar Primrose, this is absolute S tier. It's basically just her dancer design, but with a cape and in black, which makes it stand out way more. So absolute S tier. Scholar Primrose is amazing looking. Next up, we have Alphen. Dancer, just going to say this right now, all the guys look really weird in Dancer because the arms on the sprites are too big. It just looks goofy that way. So, C tier for Dancer Alphen. Warrior, B tier. Kind of looks like mini Ulbric. Nothing too special about it, just kind of plain. Merchant, C. He's kind of plain. Alphen is pretty plain looking and everything. Scholar, B tier. Looks pretty good as a scholar. Cleric, B+. This is definitely the best looking for him. Cleric looks really nice for him. Starseer, B. Sorcerer. Sorcerer is B. War Master, pretty good looking for him. Also B. Rune Lord, it would look a lot better without the bare arms. It looks kind of weird for Rune Lord. So B-. Just keep it in B. Starseer, C. Hunter, he looks really goofy in this, so D. Thief, he's okay, but Alphen just really doesn't have much that stands out, so C tier for that one. Ulbric. Merchant Ulbric is really dumb looking. This is D. Scholar. Pretty alright looking in Scholar. I'd say... Yeah, I'll give that C because Cleric looks significantly better on him, so that one's B. Sorcerer, also B. War Master. War Master Ulbric is the best looking. Definite A tier. Rune Lord, also A tier. Looks really great on him. This hat is pretty dumb looking, but the rest looks good. And honestly, the hat kind of works on him better than it does on the others. So C for Starseer. Hunter, also C. He doesn't look bad in it, but there's nothing really good looking about it either. Thief. Thief is A tier for Ulbric. He looks really good as a thief because of that cape. Apothecary, another A tier. Apothecary Ulbric just looks like giant elfin. Dancer. He makes Dancer work a little bit better than the others because everything about him is huge, so it doesn't look quite as disproportionate with the giant arms. So I'll say C tier for Dancer Ulbric. Maybe even B. It's like borderline B. Ophelia. Ophelia doesn't have anything that's too noteworthy. She's kind of the most plain looking. Pretty much everything for Ophelia is B tier. Nothing stands out, but nothing looks bad either. So yeah, pretty much everything is B tier for her. Merchant. I'd say she's probably one of the best, if not the best looking merchant. So B plus for merchant. Everything else is B. On to the rest of the party. I have it super zoomed in here, so you can't quite see switching the party well, but alright, on to Therian. Apothecary Therian, this is definite A tier. He looks great as an apothecary. Anything that keeps a scarf on him just looks amazing for Therian. He looks so good with the scarf. So A tier Apothecary Therian. Dancer, really dumb looking because of the giant arms. D tier. Warrior, another A tier. He looks very good in Warrior. So this is probably his best looking job. Merchant, he doesn't look too bad in it, but it's just very underwhelming. So C. Scholar, B. It's interesting, but it really could have used the scarf. Would have looked great with the scarf. Cleric. Cleric is definite A tier. This is A plus tier. It's got the tattered robes, the scarf. Looks really good in white. Cleric Therian is A plus. Sorcerer, B. War Master, he's pretty good in War Master, so I'll say this looks A tier, definitely. Maybe like A minus or lower A tier, but somewhere in A. Rune Lord, definite A tier. I'd say this is almost as good as Cleric. Actually, yeah, Cleric is definitely the best looking, not Warrior. So Rune Lord is almost as good looking as Cleric. I would say also A plus. Starseer, B. Hunter, B. Cyrus. Cyrus looks pretty good as a cleric. I'd say that's B plus, if not A. Sorcerer, as I said before, I think I said before, but Sorcerer doesn't stand out too much on anyone besides Primrose, so I'll give this A just because his general vibe fits it very well. War Master, I'd say that's also an A. Rune Lord, B. Starseer, C. Hunter, he's one of the better looking hunters. I'll give that a B. Thief, also B. Cyrus looks good in a lot because of the capes. Apothecary, definite A tier. Apothecary Cyrus looks really good. The green looks perfect on him, especially with the color of his hair matching it. His hair isn't green, but it's just that shade of it fits very well with green. So very good looking green cape on him. Dancer, D. Warrior, C. Merchant, also D. Honnet. Thief Honnet. Honnet is kind of weird looking in a lot of things because it feels like she should have had a cape in a lot of them. Or at least a scarf or something more. She just feels very lacking in a lot of them. So B tier for Thief. C for Apothecary. Dancer. Dancer Honnet is one of the best looking. She is easily the best looking dancer. And it's one of the better looking. It's one of the best looking options for her in general. So S tier for Dancer Haunted. She's one of the few characters that really makes Dancer work. It just looks perfect with her, matches her look. The half skirt thing, whatever, fits very well compared to most of the other designs for her, which are very lacking. So Warrior C, Merchant D. Scholar, this is one of the better looking ones because it finally gives her a cape. Something with a cape for Haunted. But the gloves kind of look weird because she has really big looking hands. But this is definitely B+. Cleric, another C. Sorcerer, B because just generic Sorcerer, but Sorcerer looks really good. War Master Haunted is another S tier. This is definitely the best looking thing for her. War Master fits really well. The color scheme fits her hair. It's pretty much just generic War Master, but War Master in general looks amazing. Rune Lord, B. Starseer, another B. Now we move on to the character with some of the best designs of all the sprites. We'll save the best for last. Scholar, A tier, solid A tier. Look at that hood. She's got a long coat. Warrior, one of the weaker ones for her, so just C. Dancer, A tier Dancer. Not the best looking, but Tressa is just incredibly adorable in anything. Apothecary, A tier Apothecary. That hat is perfection. Thief, B. Nothing really special as a thief. Hunter, A+ tier Hunter. Because look at that hat, the little wolf hat. Got an adorable little dress and the absolutely amazing hat. This would be S tier. And actually this is S tier. This is definite S tier. The hat is just too good. S tier design for Hunter Tressa. Starseer, B. Rune Lord, A. Really nice looking with the little wings on her. War Master, nothing too special with her, but another B or B+. Sorcerer, B. Funny looking hat. Here we have the best sprite in the game. Cleric Tressa. Cute little dress, cute cape, absolutely adorable hood. Look at the face with the pose she makes. This is S+. Nothing else can compare to Cleric Tressa with how adorable and perfect this sprite is. Cleric Tressa is the best sprite in the game. There is just no question about that. So this is S+ tier. So that has been my Octopath Traveler Job Sprites tier list. You can roast me if you disagree with these takes, but I'm sure we can all agree that Tressa is the top of everything. I don't think anyone can possibly argue with Cleric Tressa being the best. Or at least, if you don't agree Cleric Tressa is the best, you must at least think that Hunter Tressa is the best. I don't think there's anyone that could disagree with Hunter or Cleric Tressa being at the very top of this tier list. Even if you disagree with the entire rest of the tier list, I can't imagine anyone can disagree with that. So, see you next time. Maybe with some triangle strategy videos coming in the next few months. I don't know what I'm really going to do with that yet. I'll decide once I actually have the game. So, see you next time.